Hey, what's going on, guys? Back again with the 10th episode? Oh, how have I lost track already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, this is the 10th episode. It's because the numbering scheme changed in the game. Turns. Let's see. Flag is win, skull is defeat, start is sink, star is sink, rock is push, rock and push, wall is stop. Okay. I feel like the last couple have gotten a little heavy, if I'm gonna be honest. Ooh. And I kind of want to not be too heavy with this one, and so I kind of want to talk about data storage. I know that's a little bit weird, but wall is stop. This is achieving nothing, but data storage. So I record my streams locally at 2,500. I'm sorry, 25,000 kilobits per second, I believe is the term. And that creates a lot of data. If I'm gonna be honest. Oh, weird. And so right now I have a nice data, not really problem. Oh, I'm gonna screw myself over here. But out of my 4 terabyte record drive, I'm currently experiencing 15 gigs remaining because of the amount of the size of the video files that I save. And on one hand, I do it so that I can have high quality, 1920 by 1080 recordings that I can save. But it does eat up a lot of data. And I have several ways I mitigate that. One is after I stream, which I haven't done in a while, which is why I have no stuff left in here, is I hope this is it. I can just touch it with the crab. I compress the video, and the post compression, as opposed to recording at a lower bit rate, allows me to have a higher quality at the same bit rate as I would if I were just straight recording at that bit rate. So that's one of the ways, and usually I can knock down the file size by a third. So if it's 30 gigs, I can usually knock it down to 20 gigs. Secondary, I have a bunch of extra drives. I have approximately 32 terabytes on another computer that I use for storage. A lot of that's redundant, so I'll have 2 drives with the same data on it in case one fails, because As one of my professors in college said, if it's not in 3 places, it doesn't exist. And I currently have everything in 2 places, at least right now. A third to be online soon. Another thing that I do is I have some automated stuff that puts that intro and outro on my videos, and uploads them to YouTube. But YouTube kind of is my third place. However, when things get hit with copyright that, makes it unplayable in all countries, I really don't have any recourse for getting that video back. Same if, the local recording fails or gets deleted by mistake. Pulling stuff off of Twitch is hit or miss. A, it's at a lower bitrate because I stream at a lower bitrate even though I save the VODs at a higher bitrate. And B, any music gets basically muted and all the info around it. I try as hard as I can to separate all my audio channels so I can remove music I need to remove to upload things. But I don't know, it's just a shame that data is so precious and so abundant, you know what I mean? Because I got a lot of room for data, but I don't have a lot of data. But I don't know. What else do I talk about to make this not a super short level or discussion? Maybe we could talk about I don't know, we can talk about streaming, GPU versus CPU. Recently, GeForce has been pushing out a lot of advertising content about how their new RX line of cards performs, hundreds of times better than, or whatever it was, many times. It has a much higher frame rate for Apex Legends and all that shit, but they compared it to what was it, a 9 or a 6 series mobile GPU that they have? Really? Is that what you're comparing to? A full-fledged desktop TI GPU versus a mobile several years old GPU? It was a thing about streaming and playing games, I believe, but yeah, I generally try and stream with my CPU and do local recordings with my GPU, and the stream is 720 and my local recording is 1080, blah blah blah. Works out great for the most part, but yeah, I don't know. This one is going to be a short one. I didn't really prepare a whole ton for it. We can talk about maybe networking, drives and stuff. I have 2 drives in my main computer and 4 drives in my secondary computer. And like I said, that those secondary drives in the other computer are my long-term storage, and the troubles of moving data from one computer to another. Normally, if you have all your computers on the same network, it's not that bad. You just use Windows to link them together. But because I pay for my own internet, A, and B, have that other computer on my landlord's Wi-Fi, they're technically on 2 different internet. Same provider, but 2 different internets. Can you have internet as a plural? And so they don't really talk to each other. And so back when I was using Windows 7, I've tried my hardest to move to Windows 10. I've got 80% of the things over there. But my Windows 7 USB drivers were messed up, and I couldn't plug in external drives to move from one computer to another. And so what I would do is I would take my computer off of one network and put it on the other and then move stuff that way. But that ends up being a pain. If I forget, then, I'm streaming on the wrong network, or I have 2 computers on the right network and it can't handle that bandwidth. And so that becomes a pain. But recently I've gotten a USB Ethernet adapter, and I've been trying to have my main streaming computer on my internet and my other computer on 2 networks, and I haven't quite gotten it to work properly yet. But I'm hopeful that I can get it working right. And hopefully what that would allow me to do, it says unidentified network, but it won't connect to the actual drives. What that should allow me to do eventually is to let me transfer files over the network. It's not the best way to do it, but I mean, it beats the slow, NAS storage drives that I have stuff stored on. And that would allow me to employ the processor on that second computer to do that compression I talked about earlier, and to do the uploads to YouTube hopefully a little easier, and allow me to still stream on my main computer, because a lot of times I'll be, especially with the longer Factorio VODs, which is why like none have came out recently, it's tough for me to get them out, because by the time I start it up after a stream, by the time I'm ready to stream the next day, it's not done processing, and I have to make the choice: do I not stream, or do I stop the encoding and restart it? It has to start from the beginning again at some other time. So I don't know, it's a tough world. I should just build a new computer. I want to build a new computer, make myself a nice, one of those 38 thread rippers. Right now, if the stars align properly, my videos encode at twice real time. So instead of 60 frames per second, it'll encode at about 130 frames per second if the stars are all in the right spot. But sometimes it could be as slow as real time, or 2/3 of real time, so like 40 frames per second instead of 60, and that takes forever. That'll, a 17-hour VOD that you're making an extra 30% longer or whatever it is insane, So it'd be nice if I didn't have to interrupt the stream. I could have the other computer do it, blah blah blah. But someday, working on it. Anyway, this one was a little less serious. Not that this was a joke or anything, but it was less heavy. You don't have to talk to your doc about that one, So maybe we'll find some good topics. I think I'm out of topics for tonight. It's 12:23. I'm ready for bed. All the episodes at this point were filmed in one day. Recorded in one day. Of me just kind of talking about things that have been in my mind lately, basically. That's all stuff that, for better or for worse, is in my mind all day. It's nice to talk about things. Well, yeah, that's a good topic for next time. Let me write down meta talking. But please, if you have topics you'd like to discuss, feel free to leave them in the comments anywhere. I'll try and look at them, and if I got something to say about it, great. I'll feel free to talk about it. But until then, hopefully you have a good night. I'll catch you later. I didn't finish the level. There we go. What am I doing? All right. Now, have a good night.